Okay, welcome to chapter 6. And this will be the last chapter for semi-finals. Finally, pero sa chapter 6, meron tayong tatlong lessons na dapat i-discuss. First is the psychosocial. Second, psychosexual. And lastly will be humanist learning theory or tinatawag din nating moral theory. I know that you're already familiar with these three theory since sure ako na i-discuss ninyo ito sa inyong Prof. Ed 1. Okay na? So, prepare your module and of course, prepare yourself for learning. We are now in chapter 6. Are you ready? Let's start. Lesson 1, Psychosocial Theory by Erik Erikson. Again, sa lahat ng mga learning theories na na-discuss natin, please be familiar with the different persons or proponents of the said theory. Kasi there is a possibility na afterwards or in the future, ninyo na mga Prof. Ed, i-discuss nyo pa rin siya. And more likely, baka, hopefully, no, sa licensure examination, ang mga theory na ito talaga ay lalabas din. So, kung ano yung dapat natin i-cover, dapat ma-cover natin for discussion so that you will be prepared for the licensure examination. Nakuha? Starting with the cognitive learning theories, behavioral, constructivist. Okay? So, dapat familiar kayo with the different proponents of the different theories. Okay, so psychosocial theory by Erik Erikson. So his work described the development of a human being, including all human lifespan from infancy to adulthood. So he stressed the importance of interpersonal, social, and cultural influences in the development of people. So more likely, yung ating social, interpersonal, yung ating daw culture, ibig sabihin yung ating environment, yung persons that surrounds us, sila ay crucial sa ating development. Okay, so each stage presents challenges called crisis. So if you can still remember, itong psychosocial theory, meron siyang 8 na mga stages. At sa bawat stage daw, merong mga challenge na maaari nakaharapin ng mga individual, and that is what we call crisis. If you can still remember yung mga versus, so ito yun siya. Nakuha? Successful development of the personality depends on meeting and overcoming these tasks or crisis. So let's start. So here are different terms that we need to understand before we go through the different stages of the psychosocial theory. So first is the epigenetic principle. So kapag sinabi natin epigenetic principle, it refers to different stages because Erikson believed that human beings develop through a predetermined unfolding of personalities in 8 successive psychosocial stages. Each stage involves psychosocial crisis of 2 opposing emotional forces. So when we say epigenetic principle, yung tinutukoy niya is yung different na mga stages, yung 8 na stages. So, Erikson believed daw na sa ating buhay, tayo ay dumadaan dun sa 8 na stages at yung 8 na stages na yun ay tinatawag na epigenetic principle. And in each stage, if you can still remember, merong dalawang opposing na emotional forces. Yung isa positive, yung isa negative. Say for example, the very first stage, we have the trust versus mistrust. So, yung trust, that is what we call symptonic. When we say symptonic, positive disposition in each crisis. Then, yung mistrust naman, ang tawag natin sa kanya ay dystonic, the negative disposition. And all throughout the 8 stages, meron tayong syntonic and dystonic, which is yung positive and negative na mga disposition. Clear? Now, sa kada stage, meron din daw tayo mga aspect, okay, or merong tayong i-expect kung too much, kung hindi ma-balance yung kada stages. Now, we have here malignancy and maladaptation. When we say malignancy, if there is too little of the positive and too much of the negative aspects. Say, for example, in the first stage, trust versus mistrust. Malignancy yung tawag kapag mas nade-develop yung negative aspect o yung mistrust. Nakuha? Say, for example, in an infant na nasa stage ng trust versus mistrust, siya mas na-develop niya yung mistrust niya, okay? Hindi na balance yung dalawang opposing emotional forces, or hindi na balance yung development sa stage na ito, mas na-develop yung mistrust. So, ang tawag natin doon, malignancy. If there is too little, onti lang yung na-develop na positive, which is trust, and too much of the negative aspect, mas malaki o mas marami yung na-develop na mistrust sa isang infant, and that is what we call malignancy. And of course, the opposite naman, if there is too much of the positive, kapag damuliwat nga doro nga trust, of course, di ba? Kapag sobra namang mapagtiwala yung isang tao, then hindi rin siya okay. Di ba? May tendency na lagi siyang lolokohin, may tendency na lagi siyang i-deceive or lagi siyang madadaya, right? So there is a need that in each stage, there is a balance in the development. So kapag too much naman yung positive and lesser yung or too little of the negative, so that is what we call maladaptation. If, say for example, in the first stage, pag mas na-develop yung trust, lesser lang yung mistrust, hindi na balance. Okay? Mas marami yung sa positive. So that is what we mean maladaptation. Kapag kabaliktaran naman, lesser lang doon sa positive and too much of the negative, which is the mistrust. So that is what we call malignancy. Clear? Okay, so let us now proceed to the second slide, which is what is this? Ito, a representation and illustration of the different stages of the psychosocial. So, of course, we'll start with infancy, doon sa red, trust versus mistrust. So, yung image na ginamit is that of a bottle, di ba? Milk bottle ba to? Yung chupo ng baby. Then, in early childhood, we have autonomy versus shame and doubt. More on ano siya kasi sa toilet training. Kaya siya nilagyan ng toilet bowl dyan. Okay? Then preschool, initiative versus guilt. Here, nag-start na mag-initiate yung bata, mag-discover. No? Ito na yung stage kung saan napakarami niya ng questions about sa sarili niya or about sa environment niya. Okay? Kaya microscope yung ginamit dyan na image. Then we have here in school age, industry versus inferiority. So from initiative, no, kapag siya ay nag-start na mag-initiate, ngayon mas marami na siyang ini-explore sa paligid niya, nag-start na siya na mag-try i-gain or i-win yung approval ng mga tao sa paligid niya. Okay, then dapat yung mga ginagawa niya, it should be encouraged and appreciated para mas nabibuild yung hard work. Okay, then we have here adolescence, identity versus role confusion. In this stage, yun na, di ba? Mga high school to senior high school ages ito eh. Wherein we are starting to determine kung ano ba talaga yung gusto natin para sa sarili natin, what kind of personality, characteristics, yung ating future, kung ano yung mga goals natin in life, when it comes to career, okay? Dito rin nag-start yung may mga idol, right? Yung mga pa-K-pop, mga kung sino-sino pa dyan, mga kanta, nakikiuso tayo sa pananamit, okay? So, yun yung identity mo, from fashion, to your type of words, to your personality, and a lot more. Then we also have here in young adulthood, intimacy versus isolation. If you can still remember, in this stage, we are starting to desire for intimate relationship, not only for the opposite sex, but of course, through friends, in our family. Diba? So, sa ganitong stage, nag-desire na tayo na yung mga long-term na mga friends, long-term na relationships, yung it could be na mag-settle down na to start a family. Then, sa middle adulthood, generativity versus stagnation is yung pagiging productivity. Or else, parang yung nangyayari, stagnant ka or parang sa tingin mo unproductive ka. Say for example, wala kang trabaho at this stage. So, yung tingin natin sarili natin, stagnant. Okay? So, dito rin pumapasok yung parang what's this? Yung desire for helping not only to our family but also to the environment. Ano ba yung impact? Ano ba yung contributions in the society? Then, last is sa maturity na stage or the ego, integrity versus despair. Now, this is the last stage wherein 65 until death ito, we try to look back. Ito yung panahon na binabalikan na natin yung mga nangyari sa buhay natin. Kung tayo ay maraming accomplishments, kung nagawa na ba natin yung mga dapat natin gawin sa buhay. So, we are building ego integrity. If just in case na marami tayong regrets, mga hindi nagawa, okay, so we become grumpy and that is despair. So, that is a summary of the psychosocial stages. Then, okay, we also have here a diagram or an illustration, yung may corresponding na edad in each stages together with the psychosocial crisis or stage. Then what virtue is developed in each stage. So starting from hope, will, kasi yung autonomy, diba? Then purpose for initiative, competency, industry, fidelity, love, care, and wisdom. Doon sa integrity versus despair. Okay? So before we proceed or before we elaborate each stages, so let us first watch this video clip regarding the psychosocial stages or psychosocial theory by Erik Erikson.
Erikson's theory of psychosocial development identifies 8 stages which a healthy individual should pass through from birth to death. At each stage, we encounter different needs, ask new questions, and meet people who influence our behavior and learning. Stage 1. Basic trust versus mistrust. As infants, we ask ourselves if we can trust the world, and we wonder if it's safe. We learn that if we can trust someone now, we can also trust others in the future. If we experience fear, we develop doubt and mistrust. The key to our development is our mother. Stage 2. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. In our early childhood, we experience ourselves and discover our body. We ask, is it okay to be me? If we are allowed to discover ourselves, then we develop self-confidence. If we are not, we can develop shame and self-doubt. Both parents now play a major role. Stage 3. Initiative versus guilt. In preschool, we take initiative, try out new things, and learn basic principles like how round things roll. We ask, is it okay for me to do what I do? If we are encouraged, we can follow our interests. If we are held back or told that what we do is silly, we can develop guilt. We are now learning from the entire family. Stage 4. Industry versus inferiority. Now we discover our own interests and realize that we are different from others. We want to show that we can do things right. We ask if we can make it in this world. If we receive recognition from our teachers or peers, we become industrious, which is another word for hard working. If we get too much negative feedback, we start to feel inferior and lose motivation. Our neighbors and schools now influence us the most. Stage 5. Identity versus role confusion. During adolescence, we learn that we have different social roles. We are friends, students, children, and citizens. Many experience an identity crisis. If our parents now allow us to go out and explore, we can find identity. If they push us to conform to their views, we can face role confusion and feel lost. Key to our learning are our peers and role models. Stage 6. Intimacy versus isolation. As young adults, we slowly understand who we are, and we start to let go of the relationships we had built earlier in order to fit in. We ask ourselves if we can love. If we can make a long-term commitment, we are confident and happy. If we cannot form intimate relationships, we might end up feeling isolated and lonely. Our friends and partners are now central to our development. Stage 7. Generativity versus stagnation. When we reach our 40s, we become comfortable, use our leisure time creatively, and maybe begin contributing to society. Our concern is generativity. If we think that we are able to lead the next generation into this world, we are happy. If we did not resolve some conflicts earlier, we can become pessimistic and experience stagnation. People at home and at work are now who influences the most. Stage 8. Ego integrity versus despair. As we grow older, we tend to slow down and begin to look back over our lives. We ask, how have I done? If we think we did well, we develop feelings of contentment and integrity. If not, we can experience despair and become grumpy and bitter. Time to compare us with mankind. Erik Erikson was a German-American psychologist who, together with his wife Joan, became known for his work on psychosocial development. He was influenced by Sigmund and Anna Freud and became famous for coining the phrase identity crisis. Although Erikson lacked even a bachelor's degree, he served as a professor at Harvard and Yale.
Okay, so that is it, no? And let us try to elaborate or add more information regarding different stages. Okay, so first stage, okay, we have here trust versus mistrust. So from infancy, which is from 1 to 2 years of old, diba, sa mga estudyante. So during this stage, the infant is uncertain about the world, gaya ng sinabi sa video, right? In which they live and looks towards the primary caregiver for stability and consistency of care. Now, yung first person na talagang dinidependehan natin dito is our mother. Kasi sila yung pinaka-primary or first caregiver. Sila talaga yung pinaka nagbibigay ng alaga sa mga infant, right? So here, because an infant is utterly dependent, developing trust is based on dependability and quality of the child's caregivers. Caregivers who are sensitive and responsive. So, ngayon ito ha, let us highlight the word sensitive and responsive. Kapag daw yung mga nag-aalaga doon sa bata or doon sa infant ay sensitive, what I mean when we say sensitive? So, parang alam nila kung ano yung need ng bata. Responsive, di ba yung what's this? Doon sa ating previews ng mga theory, especially in sociocultural development theory, di ba meron tayong mga iba't ibang speech? And yung sa mga bata, okay, tinatawag yung speech natin, ng mga bata kasi, hindi pa man sila nakakapagsalita ng words. Right? Hindi pa naman sila nakakapagpahayag or nakakapag-express ng kanilang feelings through words or yung kanilang pananalita. But rather, yung kanilang speech, okay, is through crying, through making any sound. It could be laughing, okay, para maipahayag kung ano yung kanilang nararamdaman. Now, say for example, kapag yung baby ay umiyak, okay, at yung mother or any caregiver around is sensitive and responsive to the basic needs of the baby. It could be of food, shelter, or baka may pain siyang nararamdaman. Help their baby develop a sense of security. Bakit na-develop yung sense of security? Kasi nga, responsive, okay? O nag-response agad yung caregiver, which only means na pwedeng magtiwala yung baby or yung infant doon sa kanyang giver kasi ibinibigay agad yung kanyang need. Okay? When these babies learn that they will receive the care they need when they need it, kapag sila ay umiyak, sila ay agad binibigyan ng atensyon. Kapag sila ay nagugutom, pinapakain agad. Okay? So sabi ito, they begin to feel safe and learn to trust the people around them. On the other hand, sa kabaliktaran naman, caregivers who are unresponsive to their baby's needs can cause their baby to view this new world, itong mundo daw natin, is unreliable and unpredictable. Okay? Which creates fear sa side or sa part ng infant. These babies may develop a sense of anxiety and mistrust, which will affect how they interact with others as they grow up. Okay? So in this theory, Erik Erikson believed that yung isang infant, kapag hindi siya agad na-response or nabibigyan ng response, attention, kapag siya ay may kailangan, doon na-develop yung mistrust. Kaya daw, in further stages ng kanyang life, okay, nahihirapan daw na makipag-interact yung bata sa ibang tao. Why? Na-develop kasi yung mistrust. Kaya nga, sa mga parents, okay, o doon sa may mga baby or sa may mga kapatid, pamangkin, ano pa man, na may kasamang baby, much better if nagbibigay tayo agad ng atensyon and we are responsive to the needs of the baby so that they can develop trust. Okay? Success in this stage will lead to the virtue of hope. By developing a sense of trust, the infant can have hope. Hope, bakit? Kasi nga, secured siya, diba? May tiwala siya na inaalagaan siya ng mabuti. Okay? That as new crises arise, there is a real possibility that other people will be there as a source of support. Kasi nga, sabi pa nga sa first na bullet, infant is utterly dependent. Baby pa nga kasi sila, infant pa, so they cannot do things they wanted to do without yung the support and care ng kanyang mga caregivers. Okay? Failing to acquire the virtue of hope will lead to development of fear. Okay? So that is the first stage. So trust versus mistrust. So more likely, again, summarize lang natin, if the caregivers are responsive and sensitive to the needs of the baby or of the infant, talagang pinupuntahan agad, binibigyan ng attention kapag siya ay umiiyak or nag-express ng kanyang nararamdaman, then nade-develop yung trust, yung hope. Okay? Kapag kabaliktaran naman, hinayaan lang na umiyak, di ba merong mga tendencies na ganun? Or merong situation na ganun na, or it could be yung nanay, hahayaan lang yung anak na umiyak, then that's the problem. That's where the problem comes in, kung saan na-develop yung mistrust o yung fear. Nakuha? Pero of course, there should be a balance doon sa stage na ito. Okay, next stage, we have here autonomy versus shame and doubt from years 2 to 4. Now, during this stage, children begin to assert their independence by simply walking away from their mother. So, mag-start na to sila mag-walk, ba? Picking which toy to play with, and making choices about what they like to wear, to eat, and etc. Okay? So, in this stage, children are just starting to gain a little independence. Diba? So, from ages 2 to 4, if you can still remember, and if you are observing yung mga bata, so sa kanila, more likely, nag-start na sila maghawak ng spoon and fork, diba? Mag-eat sila. Yung mga kaya na maliliit na or yung mga very madali lang na mga gawain na kaya nilang gawin para sa sarili pa lang. Okay? So, nag-start na silang gumawa ng mga maliliit and simpleng bagay. Little independence. They are starting to perform basic actions on their own and making simple decisions about what they prefer. Okay? Shoes, sa socks, sa shirt, okay? Sa kung anong gusto nilang suotin. By allowing kids to make choices and gain control, parents and caregivers can help children develop a sense of autonomy. Kumbaga, nabibigyan natin ng kalayaan yung bata at this stage, no, to develop yung kanyang decision making. Okay? Then yung control, of course, para sa mga bata. Then children who can't take care of their own basic needs and continue to rely on their caregivers may begin to doubt their abilities. Kaya nga, kapag meron kayong mga kasamang bata sa bahay at this stage, no, 2 to 4, yung kanilang edad, at nag-start na silang parang mag-initiate or parang gumawa ng mga maliliit na bagay, basic actions para sa sarili nila, you let them. If you wanted them to learn how to feed themselves, no? So hayaan mo sila. Though at start, of course, challenging siya, pero training na rin kasi yun. Challenging siya in a sense na, di ba pag kumakain yung bata, makalat, right? So, hayaan mo lang rin sila so that ma-develop sa kanila yung autonomy, no? Mapapafeel natin sa kanila na kaya nilang gawin yung mga basic na actions. So, if just in case naman na kapag sila ay nag-start na gumawa ng mga little na mga actions or basic actions, tapos sabihin mo na, hindi mo kaya yan. Okay? Ay nalatod pagkapot-kapot nila, ayaw, kaya di ka maaram, ayaw. So they are starting, sabi pa nga dito, they may begin to doubt their abilities. Pero, of course, kapag alam nating risky, kapag kutsilyo, let's say for example, humawak ng kutsilyo or humawak ng any sharp objects, that's the time na doon ka papasok kasi of course, that is dangerous. Pero, yung regarding sa mga basic actions, eating, walking, and drinking, di ba? Or di kaya yung try sila magsuot ng sarili nilang damit, then you allow them. Okay? Give them the chance to develop yung kanilang autonomy. Okay? To develop yung control para sila ay mag-start na pagkatiwalaan mong to make choices in very simple na mga pamamaraan. Now, what can parents do to encourage sense of control? First, parents allow their children to explore the limits of their abilities. Kasi yung bata na lang mismo yung magsasabi na kung kaya niya or kung hindi niya kaya, kahit babayaan ng malait niya, di ba? Within an encouraging environment which is tolerant of failure. So, of course, since nag-start pa lang sila to do basic actions, expect natin yun na may mali-mali pa rin, di ba? So, as parents daw or mas nakakatanda, para matulungan natin yung mga bata to build autonomy, okay? So, maging tolerant daw tayo sa failure. So, we let them realize na it's okay to fail. Pero yung failure na yun, dapat nating itama. So, rather than putting on a child's clothes, a supportive parent should have the patience to allow the child to try until they succeed or ask for assistance. Yun, kahit basic na lang na pagsusuot ng damit, no? So, yung parents or anyone na nakakatanda, sabi dito, kapag nag-try daw sila magsuot ng sarili nilang damit, you let them. Okay? You let them do basic actions for themselves. Ngayon, kapag ka na daw nag-ask yung bata ng assistance, then that's the time na tulungan natin sila so that they'll be able to develop sense of control. Nakuha? Then, parents need to encourage the child to become more independent, diba? While at the same time, protecting the child so that constant failure is avoided. So, din-develop natin yung pagiging independent ng bata, pero kapag nakikita natin yung failure, of course, hindi naman sa papaluin agad. Pero, nandoon yung support, nandoon yung pagiging tolerant, na yung mga failure, dapat yun ay tinatama. Okay, then a delicate balance is required from the parent. So, it could be na minsan, no, tulungan natin sila maging independent. Then, at some point, nandun pa rin yung support natin. Nandoon yung pag-back up natin na kapag hindi na nila kaya, that's the moment or that's the time na tayo ay mag-assist na sa kanila. They must try not to do everything for the child. So, hindi daw natin dapat gawin lahat para sa bata, okay? Kundi hayaan natin sila. Then, if the child fails at a particular task, they must not criticize the child for failure. So, hindi dapat pinapagalitan agad, okay? And accidents, especially in toilet training. At some point, toilet training is very crucial kasi say for example, di ba? Sa ganitong stage kasi sila yung mag-start na mag-training kung when it comes to pag-control ng kanilang ihi or pag-control ng kanilang poop, right? O yung pag-sumasak yung tiyan nila. So, initially, sa infant stage nila, naka-diaper man good inhira, right? So, pwede silang umihi or dumumi anytime they wanted to. Pero at this stage, we should help them and train them when to pee and where to pee. Di ba kasi sa ganitong stage, 2 to 4, nag-start na natin na i-train yung bata sa toilet, right? Na minsan na hindi na natin pinapag-diaper yung mga bata. But rather, we are already training them na kung saan sila pupunta, yung tamang ihian and dumihan. Okay? So, ganun din, initially, we assist them, pero kapag ka nagpahayag sila na kaya nila, say for example, after nila magpupu, mag-wash sila ng sarili nila. So, hayaan natin sila. Pero kapag nakita natin nahirapan sila, then that's the time na tayo ay mag-a-assist na for them. Okay, the aim has to be self-control without a loss of self-esteem. So, balance talaga siya. Nandun yung self-control, and at the same time, nandun yung self-esteem. Now, we have here a quotation. When you cut it for me, when you write it for me, when you open it for me, when you set it up for me, when you draw it for me, or when you find it for me, all I learn is that you do it better than me. Okay? So, anong ibig sabihin ito? Say, for example, yung bata nag-try siya mag-cut out ng mga flower. Ayaw to, may masamad ka. Ayaw to, hindi ka maaram. Ayaw to, kay ano. Ayaw to, ako na ito magsurat. Ayaw to, hindi ka pa maaram. So, yung nade-develop sa bata ay shame and doubt. Nakuha. Yung parang nare-realize nila, ay hindi ko kaya. Kaya nga later on, ng kanilang buhay, sa later stages ng kanilang buhay, ayoko, hindi ko kayang gawin yan. Ayoko, hindi yan ituro sa akin. So, nag-start silang mag-doubt sa kanilang sarili. So, in this stage, of course, balance pa rin, no? We'll let the child do basic actions with support and assistance. Kasi kapag too much naman, yung assistance natin and yung support natin, that's the time na nare-realize na na hindi niya kaya. Na hindi niya kayang gawin. And anong nangyari? Nagiging dependent yung bata sa kanyang mga caregivers or dun sa kanyang mga nakakatanda. So, we let them do little independence, no? So that they'll be able to develop autonomy. Next stage, initiative versus guilt from 4 to 5 years. So, during this period, the primary feature involves the child regularly interacting. So, kung sa first two stages, right, we have trust and mistrust, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Primarily kasi yung mga persons na involved or lagi nilang kasama ay parents, right? Yung mga tao sa bahay. So, sa initiative versus guilt, of course, sa preschool stage, nag-start na sila dito makipag-interact with other children. So, nandito na yung play, pakikipaglaro, okay? So, features involves the child regularly interacting with other children at school. Kasi mag-start na rin siya mag-school in this stage, right? Central to this stage is play, okay, pakikipaglaro, as it provides children with the opportunity to explore their interpersonal skills through initiating activities. Okay. Children begin to plan activities, make up games, and initiate activities with others. So, if given this opportunity, children develop a sense of initiative and feel secure in their ability to lead others and make decision. So, in this stage, yung bata nag-start na siyang mag-initiate ng mga laro. Right? Or di kaya, mag-initiate siya ng mga simple na mga activities or tasks sa bahay. So, maimportante and crucial yung role ng parents dito, and also, yung, sabi pa nga doon sa video natin, right? Hindi lang yung parents o yung mga tao sa bahay yung parang involved dito, but rather, na-start na ding ma-involve yung other family or yung relatives. And sometimes, syempre, nandun na rin yung mga playmates. Okay? So, in this stage, the child will begin to ask many questions, okay, as his thirst for knowledge grows. So, nagiging curious na yung mga bata at this stage. If the parents treat the child's question as trivial, a nuisance or embarrassing, or other aspects of their behavior as threatening, then the child may have feelings of guilt for being nuisance. Kapag, di ba, may mga bata na tanong ng tanong, bakit ganito, bakit ganyan? Kapag yung parent, parang ano ba, na-feel nyo na parang, Agi, ano ba yan? Sigaw ang pangutana. Agi, ano ba ito? Yun. So, na-feel ng bata daw yung guilt. Parang nagiging istorbo siya or makulit siya sa part ng kanyang parents. Kaya, dito sa stage na to, kapag yung mga bata, nagtatanong sila, kasi dami, random actually, cute yung mga bata at this stage kasi they ask random questions. Kung ano ba yung makita nila. Say for example, sa langit, bakit blue yung langit pertaining to birds, trees. Kahit nga sa sarili nila, right? May mga questions sila. So, we need to be patient with them. So, kung ano man yung mga questions nila, sasagutin natin, no? Unti-unti. Then, wag natin ipapa-feel sa kanila parang ano sila, makulit or what's this, parang nakaka-istorbo kasi nafe-feel nila yung guilt na lagi silang nagiging istorbo sa atin kapag pinapa-feel natin ganun sa kanila. Okay? So, too much guilt can make the child slow to interact with others and may inhibit their creativity. Okay? So, dahil nga sa tingin nandun yung guilt, sense of guilt, so nag-try na sila na nahihirapan sila makipag-interact sa ibang tao. Some guilt is necessary. Why? Otherwise, the child would not know how to exercise self-control. So, at some point, there is a balance naman. Kasi kapag sige na lang luwat tanong, okay? So, tapos hindi natin siya, pagsasabihan. So, more likely, parang walang control yung bata. So, sabi dito, dapat self-control or have a conscience. Especially at this stage, no? So, kailangan na-develop sa bata yung self-control and conscience. Kasi, dahil nga nag-start na sila mag-initiate ng mga maraming bagay, ng mga activities. So, tinitignan nila, hindi pa nila na nakikita yung result or consequences nung kanilang mga ginagawa. So, kailangan ma-build din yung self-control and conscience sa mga bata at this stage. Or, balance ba? There is a balance between initiative and guilt. Okay, then, a healthy balance between initiative and guilt is important. Success in this stage will lead to the virtue of purpose, or yung will, di ba dun sa previous nating illustration, while failure results in a sense of guilt. Okay. So, kailangan din, we encourage din yung mga bata at this stage doon sa kanilang mga activities. So, mga bata na to, nagtatry na sila mag-explore, but then again, there should be a balance in this stage, no? Or else, they may not develop self-control and conscience. Okay, so initiative, though nag-initiative na sila na gumawa ng mga simple activities sa school, mag-lead sa iba, okay, sa bahay, maganda yun, i-encourage natin sila, pero at the same time, nandoon pa rin yung balance, so kailangan napagsasabihin pa rin natin sila, kailangan ma-develop pa rin yung self-control and conscience sa mga bata. Next, industry versus inferiority from ages 5 to 12. So more likely, mga elementary, right? Hanggang grade 6 siguro, yung ages na to, 5 to 12. So industry versus inferiority. At this stage, the child's peer group will gain greater significance and will become a major source of the child's self-esteem. Now, dito sa industry versus inferiority, di ba nga since elementary and based on our personal experience na lang, no? Yung ating friends, yung mga persons in school or yung mga playmates natin, they now become yung mga, ayun, sabi pa ito, major source of our self-esteem. Kumbaga, malaki na yung role na ginagampanan ng mga kaibigan natin, kaklase, at ng mga kasama natin sa school. The child now feels the need to win approval by demonstrating specific competencies that are valued by society and begin to develop a sense of pride in their accomplishment. So, dito, parang, di ba pag elementary, as you can see, sometimes, kahit sa atin personally, dito yung mga time na nag-start na kita magpabilib. Of course, since knowing kung ano yung mga kakayanan natin, dito natin pinapakita talaga. Why? Kasi we wanted to win the approval of other people. Okay, so if children are encouraged and reinforced for their initiative, they begin to feel industrious, competent, yung nabibuild sa kanila yung pagiging hardworking, and feel confident in their ability to achieve goals. If this initiative is not encouraged, so kung kanina encouraged, right, or reinforced, nabibuild sa kanila yung pagiging competent, yung pagiging hardworking, industrious, confidence, okay, pagiging initiative nila. And if not, dito na yung na-feel nila yung inferiority, or para bang nako-compare nila yung sarili nila na buti pa si ano, ganto, ako ganto, hindi ko kaya, ganyan. Yun, parang yung self-esteem niya ay bumababa. Doubting his own abilities and therefore may not reach his or her potential. If the child cannot develop the specific skill they feel society is demanding, okay, o yung hinihingi ng society sa kanila, say for example, parang ini-expect ng society sa'yo na ikaw ay maging honor student, magaling ka sa math, okay? Then, hindi mo yun na-develop, okay? So, more likely, they may develop a sense of inferiority. Say, for example, in your class, first section or diamond ba yung tawag doon? Na section kayo, talagang number 1 kayo na section sa buong grade 6, no? Siyempre, as expected, since first section kayo, dapat nagpa-perform kayo ng mabuti inside the classroom. And if just in case, no, sabihin natin, as an example, ikaw, nakita mo yung mga classmates mo magagaling talaga, tapos ikaw parang lagi mababa yung scores mo, then that's the time na nade-develop yung sense of inferiority or bumababa yung tingin natin sa ating sarili. Some failure may be necessary, okay, at some point, so that the child can develop some modesty. Again, a balance between competence and modesty is necessary. Success in this stage will lead to the verge of competence. Of course, in this stage then, we need to let the individuals understand that it's not all the time naman na nananalo tayo sa lahat ng bagay. So, nade-develop din yung pagiging sport, right? Na we should learn how to accept success and failures. Okay? Next stage, identity versus role confusion. So, from ages 13 to 19, so more likely ito yung mga nasa stage ng high school to senior high school. So, during adolescence, the transition from childhood to adulthood is most important. Children are becoming more independent and begin to look at the future in terms of career, relationships, families, housing, etc. The individual wants to belong to a society and fit in. So, dito, nung high school tayo and senior high school, more likely, yung parang sense of belongingness, di ba, hinahanap natin yun, kung saan gusto nating mag-fit in doon sa environment, doon sa society na ating kinabibilangan. Kaya nga kapag kung ano yung uso, susunod din tayo sa uso na yun so that in tayo. Right? So, yun yung identity versus role confusion. So, this is a major stage of development where the child has to learn the roles he will occupy as an adult. It is during this stage that the adolescent will re-examine his identity and try to find out exactly who he is or who she is. Okay? So, nandoon na yung nahanap mo yung sarili mo, yung role mo na gusto mong gampanan talaga. Are you a leader? A follower? Or it could be, ikaw ba ay into artistry? No? Dama na. Create, yung mga pagiging creative, ganon. So, roles na gusto mong makuha para maka-fit in sa society. What should happen at the end of this stage is a reintegrated sense of self, of what one wants to do or be, and of one's appropriate sex role. So, yun nga. So, starting this stage din, kasi dapat alam din natin, no, kung wala tayong role confusion, kasi isa rin yung sa role confusion when it comes to sex. Okay? So, since influence, no, sabi pa nga dito sa role, kung ano yung napapanood sa TV, kung sino yung karaniwang kasama. So, yun din ay nakakabigay ng factor sa ating sex or role. Kapag karaniwan na sinasamahan natin ay girls, tapos lagi natin pinapanood pang babae, mas close tayo sa nanay natin. So, there becomes a role confusion. Here comes role confusion na nagkakaroon ka na ng identity crisis, okay? Or di kaya lagi mong kasama naman mga boys, or mahilig ka sa mga nakikita mo attractive, yung mga panglalaki. Nagkakaroon din tayo ng role confusion, okay? And not only to that, sabi din dito, yung mga gusto mo at gusto mong marating sa buhay, yung mga gusto mong gawin, okay? So the adolescent may feel uncomfortable about their body for a while, until they can adapt and grow onto the changes. Of course, in this stage, di ba, nag-start na mag-develop yung ating body. So, for females, yun. So, nag-start na tayo magkaroon ng menstruation, na-form na yung ating body. And sa male naman, yung Adam's apple, so on and so forth. Okay. Then, success in this stage will lead to the virtue of fidelity. Fidelity involves being able to commit oneself to others on the basis of accepting others, even when there may be ideological differences. So, kahit na may pagkakaiba sa personality, ito na yung parang naghahanap tayong sense of belongingness through peers, group, right? During this period, they explore possibilities and begin to form their own identity. To form your own identity based upon the outcome of their exploration. So, yun nga, yung parang dito rin, di ba, kung mapapansin natin, high school na stages, pag sinabing mga K-pop, ayun, since yun yung yun yung pasok ngayon. So, nag-explore, kaya yung nangyayari, simula sa pananalita, yun, tinatry mong matuto ng Korean, nanonood ka ng mga K-pop, sa pananamit, sa fashion, and all. Okay? So, yun yung nag-explore, and since upon exploring, yun yung uso, mga Korean, so on so forth, so yun yung na-adapt mo, yun yung nagiging identity mo. Say, for example naman, nahilig ka sa music, playing guitar, singing, then more likely naman, yun din yung nagiging identity mo. You are into music. Then say, for example, diba, upon discovering that you are creative, then nahilig ka sa drawing, sa painting. So, yun yung naging outcome ng iyong exploration. Diba, sometimes, sa ganitong stage, talaga magre-research ka pa ng mga video, ng mga picture. It could be ng mga idol mo, mga K-pop, or it could be ng mga chords, ng music, then it could be din ng art, okay? So, nag-i-explore yung individual. Failure to establish a sense of identity within the society, I don't know what I want to be with when I grow up, okay? Can lead to role confusion. Ayun. Kapag hindi tayo naka-develop ng sense of identity sa ating society, parang hindi tayo naka-fit in, or parang sa sobrang dami, sobrang varied or unique or distinct yung nasa society mo, maging ikaw hindi mo rin alam ano ba talaga yung gusto ko. So after, sabi natin, into music, tapos hindi ka agad natuto, into arts ka naman, parang sinukuan mo agad. So kapag ganun ba, pabago-bago, nagkakaroon tayo ng role confusion. Role confusion involves the individual not being sure about themselves or their place in the society. In response to role confusion or identity crisis, an adolescent may begin to experiment with different lifestyles. So you'll try to search or to look for different lifestyles na sa tingin mo doon ka mag-fit in. Okay, then also pressuring someone into an identity, no, talagang pinipilit mo siya sa isang identity na ayaw niya naman niya, sabi dito, can lead to rebellion in the form of establishing a negative identity. And in addition to this, feeling of unhappiness. Say for example, your parents are expecting from you, dapat ganito ka, dapat katulad ka ni ano, ganyan. So, nag-start na yung rebellion. Kahit sa mga teachers, kahit sa mga classmates, no, pinipilit nila tayo to become or to have the identity na hindi naman talaga natin gusto or hindi naman talaga yun yung tayo. So, nagkakaroon daw ng rebellion and yung result nito ay nagkakaroon ng negative identity or feeling of unhappiness. Okay? So, intimacy versus isolation from 20 to 40 years. No? So, during this period, the major conflict centers on forming intimate, loving relationship with other people. So, at this stage, no? Pero sa tingin ko kasi, sa ganitong stage, unlike kasi nung stage namin before, kasi ano pa lang, yung parang basic education curriculum. Pagdating ng 19 to 20 years old, nakagraduate na kami ng college. So, ngayon naman, mga 22 ba? 22, 23, 24, mga ganong age. Hopefully, makatapos kayo ng pag-aaral nyo sa college, right? So, at this stage naman daw, unlike kasi nung sa amin, after na mag-aral, so parang yun na, intimacy versus isolation. See, for example, here, matatapos ka ng high school, 4th year high school, mga 15 or 16. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, 19 ka pa lang, graduate ka na ng college. So, from there, syempre, mag-start ka na maghanap ng trabaho. Then, after noon, mag-start na ng intimacy versus isolation. Okay? Then, mag-start na maghanap ng friends, true friends. Okay? So, ito rin part din dito yung paghahanap ng partner or someone to love. Okay? So, during this period, we begin to share ourselves more intimately with others. So, mas nabibuild na yung friendship natin with our friends, mas nagiging intimate na tayo sa kanila, or mas nagiging closer na tayo sa kanila. We explore relationships leading toward longer term commitments with someone other than a family member. Successful completion of this stage can result in happy relationships and a sense of commitment, safety, and care within a relationship. However, if they form relationships with others, they also get to experience rejections. So kapag na-feel natin yung belongingness, yung love, then, sabi pa nga dito, it can result in happy relationships, sense of commitment, safety, and care. Kapag naman rejection, palaging rejection from friends, family, or rejection from the person you admire the most. So more likely, ano daw yung sabi dito? Or it could be someone they like and rejected by someone they like and breaking up with their partners, painful rejections, and sometimes fear of being rejected may result in distanciation. Parang ina-isolate mo na, dumidistansya ka na sa iba at ina-isolate mo na yung sarili mo. This happens when young adults isolate themselves to avoid, no? Parang lumalayo ka sa mga tao para maiwasan yung yung identity mo, negative forces that appear to be harmful to them. Avoiding intimacy, fearing commitment, and relationships can lead to isolation. Ayun. Loneliness and sometimes depression. Ayun. Kaya nga yung mga depressed, more likely, hindi nila gusto yung nakikipag-interact sa ibang tao. Gusto nila yung nilalayo nila yung sarili nila, sila lang mag-isa, ina-isolate nila yung nag-isolate sila, okay? So, more likely, yun. Then, success in this stage will lead to the virtue of love. Okay, so more likely, love, intimacy, and rejection. Yung nandito sa stage na ito. Then, generativity versus stagnation. Generativity refers to making your mark, okay, or giving contributions to the society, to your surroundings, to the persons around you, on the world, through creating or nurturing things that will outlast an individual. We give back to society through raising our children, being productive at work. So, generativity, that is yung pagiging productive, right? And even sa bahay, okay? Becoming involved in community activities and organizations. Through generativity, we develop a sense of being part of the bigger picture. Then, success leads to feelings of usefulness and accomplishment, while failure results in shallow involvement in the world. So, ang feeling natin kapag lesser yung accomplishment or failure, okay? Then, more likely, kapag lagi tayo nag-fail, yung feel natin sa sarili natin, napaka-unproductive natin, mga waray kita gamit, ganun. Yung kabaliktaran, okay? Nitong, generativity. By failing to find a way to contribute, we become stagnant. Yun. Kapag feel natin, hindi tayo nakatulong sa pamilya natin. Kapag feel natin, hindi man lang tayo nakatulong sa friends natin or sa ating society, then, ang tingin natin sa sarili natin stagnant and unproductive. These individuals may feel disconnected or uninvolved with their community and with society as a whole. Success in this stage will lead to the virtue of care. Ayun. So, extend na tayo dito sa ating society. Okay, and last stage, the 8th stage is ego integrity versus despair from 65 until death. So, it is during this time that we contemplate our accomplishments. So, ano na tayo dito? Parang nagninilay-nilay na or nire-recall na natin, inaalala natin yung mga accomplishments natin, which will develop to integrity if we see ourselves as leading a successful life. Or parang tingin natin na na-accomplish natin yung mga dapat natin gawin sa buhay. Okay. Ego integrity as the acceptance of one's one and only life cycle as something that had to be. As we grow older and become senior citizens, we tend to slow down our productivity, of course, diba? And explore life as a retired person. If we see ourselves as unproductive, kung sa tingin natin parang hindi natin na-achieve yung mga goals natin in life, then we feel guilt about our past or feel that we did not accomplish our life goals. We become dissatisfied with life and develop despair. Bugnutin, okay? Mainitin ng ulo, okay? Or negative, often leading to depression and hopelessness. Success in this stage will lead to the virtue of wisdom, which enables a person to look back on their life with a sense of closure and completeness, and also accept death without fear. I don't know kung naririnig nyo sa mga lolo at lola natin na sinasabi nila na okay na daw ako, pwede na daw ako mamatay kasi nakita ko naman daw yung mga anak ko, maganda na yung kalagayan, maganda na yung buhay, yung mga apo ko, na-accomplish ko naman yung mga dapat kong gawin, yung mga gusto kong mangyari sa buhay ko, naabot ko naman. So that is ego integrity. Okay? Kapag kabaliktaran naman, parang maraming pagsisisi, mga regrets, mga hindi nagawa sa buhay, pinagsisisihan sa buhay. So, ang nade-develop daw ay despair. Okay? Kaya, may mga lolo and lola tayo na some point, bugnutin, madaling magalit, okay? Or negative, pessimist sila. Maybe because marami silang regrets sa kanilang buhay. Okay. So, here, ibasahin nyo na lang to since this is provided naman in your module. Okay, itong mga nangyayari sa kada stage. More likely of a summary. Okay, summary of the 8 stages of psychosocial development. Okay, so let us check your module. Okay, here. So, first activity, you make a creative diagram that is ito nandito sa illustration na to, example lang to ha, kasi kasama to sa PowerPoint presentation. Gagawa kayo ng ganyan, pero of course, depende sa inyong creativity. Pwede kayo mag-explore pa ng iba pang mga diagram, kaya nga, kayong bahala as long as it is creative. Kaya nga, pinapagawa sa inyo, creative diagram. That will represent the stages of psychosocial stages of development by Erik Erikson. And after creating a creative diagram, discuss the creative diagram that you made by describing, i-describe ninyo yung each stage in your own words, okay? And outline, ibig sabihin, i-highlight ninyo yung mga maiimportanteng concepts ng kada stage. You make sure to come up with a substantial output. So this illustration here again is just a sample. You make your own. You make your own creative diagram. Okay, then for express. Now we have here two quotations. Then what you're going to do is to explain and elaborate your explanation regarding the two quotations provided. Nakuha? And of course, be guided with the learning rubric. So that is our basis for your grades. So I think everything is clear. No? Madali nga lang yung activity. Ilan lang to. So hopefully, ma-accomplish ninyo ito sa right time with the use of proper time management. Okay? So, keep doing your best. Malapit na tayo matapos for semifinals. Meron na lang tayong dalawang topic, psychosexual and moral development theory. And after nun, matatapos na rin tayo sa ating semifinals na topic. So, I guess that will be all for this lesson, lesson 1. I'll see you sa next video. Thank you and God bless.